Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Valsa, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Cunning talent, which is a talent you find at the top of the mobility tree that a lot of Cav heroes and a few other heroes have. A couple days ago, I released a video on Marduk. I gave some example talent builds for him, and in one of the talent builds I suggested go ahead and take the Cunning talent here. The reason is if you go down the mobility tree, obviously at the last end of the mobility tree, you have three options here: maneuverability, cunning, and Tide Rider. But the thing is, Tide Rider is dependent on taking egoism on the previous level, and no one almost ever takes egoism with their Cav marches because, hey, less hero skill damage, that's great, but that's not what you're trying to do with Cav. You're not trying to be tanks with them, you're trying to do damage. And so this really isn't on plan. So your end up, you can only take maneuverability or cunning most of the time if you want to go ahead and grab the end of a talent skill there, right? So I always thought, hey, these things are basically, cunning, that seems nice. It gets rid of that movement speed debuff, or maneuverability, this helps you get home and refresh faster. They both seem okay, whatever. Let's go ahead and hit cunning. But a couple of viewers wrote in and said, hey, what do you think about that? Cunning, I don't know what it does. It doesn't seem to work for me. And so what I thought cunning did is to essentially eliminate the movement speed debuff that infantry put on you. So let's go ahead and take a look at infantry. And all infantry have a skill called Berserker Charge, and what that does, it does three things. First of all, it makes the infantry run real fast. When it hits the target, it inflicts a movement speed debuff on them, 75% for 8 seconds. That's very strong. And then it can interrupt the unyielding rush charge that Cav do. This is the only essentially generic movement speed debuff you have in the game. Like, there's no generic collision debuff. Unyielding Rush itself does not inflict a debuff on anyone. Now, of course, certain heroes have talents, they have skills that can inflict movement speed debuffs, but this is your sort of only generic one you've got. And I'm like, well, that's what Cunning does. And I remember back in Season 1, running around with my Cav Emrys March, being a menace back then, and I had the Cunning talent, and I remember it working. Now, you want to say, hey, also, you're an old man, maybe your memory isn't that great. You're right, my memory isn't perfect, maybe I'm just misremembering things. But I remember it back in the day working. Well, guess what? It doesn't seem to work anymore. Did some testing. Now, this is just an alt account I have to do some testing on. Unyielding Rush goes off. It gets charged. You see my Cav here getting charged. Now, the Emrys build has Cunning on it. It has no impact on the debuff inflicted by the Berserker Rush charge, right? I'm crippled, 75% reduction in movement speed for 8 seconds. Now we're going to try it the other way. Now, when Bakshi's in the lead here, Bakshi does not have the Cunning talent. It has the exact same effect. His movement speed is decreased by 75% for 8 seconds. As far as I can tell right now, Cunning has no impact. Now, like I said, I remember this working way back in the day. Now, they've made some changes quite a while ago now in terms of how unit collisions works and in terms of that impact. I think this is a legacy talent they never bothered to update the code for, and I don't think it has any effect anymore. Okay, so what should you do? Well, the answer is pretty obvious. Like I mentioned earlier, Tide Rider probably isn't an option for you, so it comes down to maneuverability versus cunning. Maneuverability, whatever, it's fine. If you want to get that end of talent skill, Victory Rush is decent. You probably should grab it. Go ahead and grab maneuverability. Ignore cunning. It doesn't appear to have any effect right now. All right, that's all I got for you today. Hey, I want to thank the people that wrote in, either in the comments below or in private messages to myself, that helped flag this to me. I was under the assumption that cunning worked, and honestly, that assumption was incorrect. You shouldn't take cunning, take maneuverability instead, or just go with a different build entirely. This game's got a giant code. Things change all the time, and sometimes the developers don't always anticipate all the way things change. So once again, thank you for the viewers who wrote in, and until next time, you stay classy, Belleron. Hey, that's it. Now I feature a number of War Pet themed series on this channel, and I'm always looking for more War Pets to feature. Now this could be a pet you're struggling with, and you'd like in-depth advice on how to build it out, or it could be a super strong pet, and you'd like to see it featured in the Doom Pet series. I try to help anyone who needs it with any War Pet related issues. So if you do send something in, please let me know whether you're interested in being featured in one of my videos, or if you're just looking for some quick advice. I'm happy to help either way. I also try to address more general, pet-related questions the community might have. If you have any of those, please let me know in the comments below. I want to thank everyone for stopping by and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this content or found it helpful, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And until next time, stay classy, Belleron.